Literally, I'm like, I have no idea who you are.
It's all good, you know, don't worry about
You're
it.
pretty. Can I get your number?
You can, yeah. As long as
Most men will never be chosen. And it's not because they're lazy. It's not because they're bad guys or they don't have game. It has nothing to do with their personality. The cold hard truth is that most men just are not seen as attractive by most women. And that's really all there is to it. No amount of working on your personality or working on your game is going to change that. Attraction is a physical response based on biological signals. And it's not really much different for different people either. If a man is attractive to one woman, then he's attractive to most women, and vice versa. If you're unattractive to one woman, then that's it, pretty much. Now, obviously, we all know an ugly guy that somehow managed to get a hot girlfriend. We've all seen it before. It's not like unattractive guys never get with attractive women. It does happen. But those men weren't chosen, okay? And that is a big difference. And I promise you, the way those men get treated in their relationships versus a man that was actually chosen, it's like night and day, okay? So what does it mean to be chosen by women? Being chosen just means that women enthusiastically, eagerly want to be with you. They choose to be with you. It's a biological response as soon as they see you. So there's no game required. You don't have to negotiate anything. If a woman chooses you, then you won't have to convince her. She will make it very clear from the start that you have been chosen. And for guys that actually get chosen, see, this is the thing most guys like me, since we don't get chosen, most of us never realize how it really is. But for the chosen few, which is maybe like the top 1% of men, if that, they are getting clear signals from women every day. It's like every woman they see will be making some kind of moves or trying to get his attention somehow. Or at the very least, they'll just be praying that he would approach them. Now, let's look at some examples so you can see the difference in being chosen versus not being chosen.
if you want to hang out later and do something, let me know.
I do. Can I get your number?
I'm sure some of y'all have seen the viral clips going around from Clavicular's Valentine's Day stream where he supposedly steals some guy's girlfriend. It is a brutal mogging, for sure. Definitely a great example of what it's like when a woman chooses a man. I don't know why everyone's saying the other guy was the girl's boyfriend, though. Really, it was just another guy that was trying to pick her up. He literally said multiple times throughout the stream that he just met her that night.
I just met her tonight. I don't really know.
It's obviously not her boyfriend, but yeah, anyways. From the start of the interaction between Clavicular and this girl, it's very obvious she is choosing him. It's obvious she's attracted.
Hi. I don't know who you are. But you're really pretty.
So first thing to notice, she approaches him. And her opening line is, "Hi, I don't know who you are, but you're really pretty." So right off the bat, she's immediately expressing interest, just straight up telling him that she finds him attractive. And you can just see as they're talking, she's getting really close to him, she's giggling nervously at times, and she reiterates again that she thinks he's attractive, or in her words, she said that she thinks he's pretty. You know, she's just making it very obvious that she wants to go home with him. Because that's how it is when there is genuine attraction. That's what being chosen is.
What do you do besides school?
I study psychology.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
So I can't fuck with you?
No, you can.
I mean, do I even need to comment on this? No matter what he says to her, she just continuously keeps verbalizing some form of the statement, "I am yours to do with as you please. I am here to serve you." That is essentially what she's saying.
Are you hard to manipulate?
I don't know. You can try.
I will.
You know, she says, oh, you can fuck with me. You can try to manipulate me. And obviously, when he asks if she wants to hang out later, she enthusiastically says, I do. Then she asks him for his number.
If you want to hang out later and do something, let me know.
I do. Can I get your number?
Okay, and this is the key thing about the way that women treat a man they choose to be with. It's enthusiasm, eagerness. Okay, there's no negotiation, no game, no pickup artistry, none of that. Clavicular could have just grunted at this chick, and nodded his head toward the door, and she would have followed him. She chose him as soon as she saw him. I mean, the way it is for these guys that get chosen, check this out.
I would give my pitch to Brittany. I know she said she's not into guys who have lighter hair than her, but I feel like there's always an exception to the rule. I feel like these two gentlemen up here are really great guys, but I feel like I'm maybe not as nice as them. I would put it that way. I feel like I'm a little bit more on the fun side, spontaneous, adventurous.
Brittany, you feeling anything there?
I'm really picky.
Okay, so this is a clip from some kind of dating competition. So the girl is supposed to be answering whether or not she agrees to go on a date with one of the guys on stage. But what does she do instead? She points out some Chad in the audience and tries to shoot her shot with him instead.
I need to be really bold.
Be bold, do it.
You are so attractive.
Turn. Yo, hands up.
Okay, so I don't know the rules of this show. Maybe it's like a Price is Right sort of situation where the contestants do come from the audience. I really don't know. But I'm pretty sure at that moment, her just pointing out a hot guy from the audience like that, I don't think that's how the showrunners intended it to go. And just look at the face of this Wheat Waffles clone here. Just absolutely brutal. That forced smile, just holding back his rage, holding back tears, trying to look like he's a good sport, you know. I mean, what else can you do in that situation? If you show any kind of negative reaction at all, everybody will act like you're the one that's out of line, as if they didn't just see you get brutally disrespected in front of a cheering crowd. And look, both of the guys on stage, like the actual options this girl was supposed to be choosing from, they're not bad looking guys. Certainly a whole lot better looking than I am. They're well-groomed, well-fitted clothes. They obviously take care of their appearance. You know, they're doing all the things that people give as advice for the things that men need to do if they want to attract women. They're doing all those things. But that's not enough to get chosen, apparently. Look what she does. She picks a random guy out of the audience. He wasn't even supposed to be an option. But that's exactly the point I'm making here. For the top 1% of men, they get chosen so frequently, they're being chosen by virtually all women all the time, even when it's technically not supposed to be allowed. Like, say, when a woman is already in a relationship. Now, listen up, because I cannot stress this enough. There are plenty of men out there that are not chosen, but they are still in relationships. But that's not a good thing. I mean, maybe it'd be better than just being alone. You can make that argument. But for a man that does not get chosen, he is never going to experience the treatment that a chosen man would. Like, he might have what looks like a fine marriage on the surface, but if you pay close attention, you will see that he's getting tested all the time. He's being nagged. He's probably in a dead bedroom situation. Probably has his wife openly disrespecting him on a regular basis, making googly eyes at other men right in front of him. And I'm sure even Henry Cavill or whoever, you know, the top 0.001% of Giga Chad chosen men, I'm sure they still get shit tests from women too, but it's not the same. It's just not the same how guys like that get treated. You can tell very clearly If you've ever been around a guy that women have that instant biological attraction for, it's very obvious. And these guys never have to worry about a dead bedroom situation. Women are eager for them. They're enthusiastic. You know, the average man in a relationship, at some point, probably most of the time actually, he's gonna have to negotiate to get some action from his woman. He has to run game on his own frickin' wife. This is a woman that supposedly loves you, and you have to negotiate with her to get some action, to get some affection. Like you're buying a used car or something. It's ridiculous. Do you really think prime Brad Pitt ever had to negotiate with a woman? I guarantee he had women jumping through hoops just trying to please him, basically making bids on him, competing with each other for his attention. Okay, and I don't really need to harp on this point too much. I'm sure you've all seen what it's like when women thirst over a guy, but you have to understand, that is a normal reaction. All women have the capacity to react like that and to feel that type of way when they are in the presence of a guy that they choose. And I'm just using the word choose, chosen, etc. because that's the common parlance, but really that is a bit of a misnomer. The attraction is automatic. So it's not really a choice, it's just biological. And that's why it doesn't really differ much from woman to woman, okay? Just because it's a biological thing. Okay, so understand this. It's not just club girls or shallow party girls, you know, sorority girls or whatever you want to call it. It's not just those girls that have the capacity to thirst over a man that they have instant attraction to. It's also the nerdy girls. It's the good girls, the straight A students, the church girls, your girlfriend, okay? Don't think your girl's not like that just because you've never seen her react like that. That just means she doesn't choose you. If she had that natural attraction to you, then she would jump when you say jump, okay? You would see that behavior from her, and you would never have to negotiate with her. She would do what she knows you want her to do. And by the way, when I'm talking about being chosen, I'm talking about being her first choice. Okay? You would know if you're her first choice. And if you're not the first choice, then you're not really a choice at all, as far as I'm concerned. You're just what she has to settle for.
If you ain't first, you're last.
I really hate all these cringe pickup artist seminars and online dating coaching, one-on-one consults, and everything like that. If women are not chasing you, then you're not being chosen, period. If you're at the point where you're watching dating advice videos, then you're already cooked. All that advice on game and how to talk to women and how to get into the right mentality, you know, get that abundance mindset, get out there in the field, get your reps in, get some practice, put yourself out there, practice your social skills, learn how to sell yourself, learn some game. It just, at that point, you are just negotiating. You cannot negotiate actual attraction if it's not there in the first place. You're just sharpening up your social skills to be the best competitor out of all the guys she might reluctantly settle for after the guy she actually chooses kicks her to the curb. And I mean, I guess that probably is better than nothing if that's all you can hope for. Because, yeah, you can maybe actually pass on your genes to the next generation, but that's going to come along with a lifetime of being with someone that's only with you out of reluctance. And to even maintain that, you're going to have to keep negotiating every freaking day. So that's a personal choice that each unchosen man has to make for himself. You know, I can't give you the right answer on that. Do you accept being in a relationship with a woman you have to constantly negotiate with, where there's no actual attraction? Because I really don't think you're going to find happiness there. Unless maybe you're actually able to delude yourself. I mean, to me, it's like, at this point in my life, I'm done trying. I'm not going to be trying to negotiate anymore. I think I'd honestly just rather sit on my hand until it goes numb and then close my eyes and pretend that's a woman that actually chooses me. Because, I mean, seriously, that to me is less shameful than debasing myself to the level of being in a relationship with a woman that I know is always going to be lusting after other men. Because I'm not a chosen man. I've lived plenty long enough to know that by now. And there's really no deluding yourself anymore these days when you can just get online and see all these clips where you can see how women react when there's actual attraction there. There is abundant evidence all over the place. It is very easily available. At this point, if you still don't understand human nature, then you're obviously just not paying attention, which might be a good thing for your mental health. But then you risk falling into the marriage trap when you're not even a second choice. Or worse, you could end up raising another man's offspring when you don't even realize it. Who knows how common that sort of situation really is? It's obviously not something that's easy to get the data on. Most men in that predicament probably never realize it. But I can tell you for sure that it is way more likely to happen if you're not a man that gets chosen. If you are chosen, then women would literally pay you to knock them up. That's how eager women are for the men they actually choose to be with. I mean, just imagine having a woman, like even one single average-looking woman. If I had one average-looking woman enthusiastically vying for my affection, just always eager to see me, always eager to make me happen, that's the dream. That is all I want. But the way the world actually works, any man that has one woman choosing him like that, he's got pretty much every woman he's ever met choosing him, just dreaming of catering to him. And the rest of the 99% of us, most of us probably just assume that that kind of treatment from a woman is just a fantasy. But it's not, I promise you. There are guys that get that fantasy treatment in real life on a regular basis. And it's not just from one woman that they are exclusively committed to. I mean, not unless they choose to actively reject all the other women chasing them, which I'm sure some men do. But either way, the attraction is there. The choosing is happening. And the way those men get treated in every context, every aspect of their lives, the way they get treated is going to reflect that. Now, I will say, in regards to dating advice, there's probably some amount of guys that could benefit from looks maxing. Any advice aimed at improving your game or your social skills, I really don't think that sort of advice is all that useful. I mean, if you just want to oofy-doofy it up and be some woman's beta provider, then sure, learning some negotiation tactics might help with that. But no amount of social skills is going to give you the ability to convince a woman to actually be attracted to you. In other words, you cannot trick her into choosing you. That's just not how it works. Like I keep saying, that natural attraction is something that is just automatic. It's either there or it's not, period. But there are probably some guys that are close enough to the borderline between being attractive and not being attractive enough that these guys on the borderline, they actually could get to the level of being chosen just through looks maxing techniques. So I'm not fully against every piece of dating advice, but at the same time, I think for most of us, it's probably not going to be enough to push us over the edge. Of course, with stuff like working out and losing weight or dressing better, I mean, there's not really any harm in trying. So you might as well give it a shot, I guess. And I mean, working out, of course, that's just good for your health in general. So that should be enough reason right there. But I always recommend against any sort of hard maxing, cosmetic surgeries, rhinoplasty, jaw surgery, leg lengthening, anything like that. It probably is worth it for some guys, I'm sure, but there are serious risks involved when you're going under the knife. So if you're, say, a 3 out of 10 right now, I'm pretty sure no amount of hard maxing is going to get you to that chosen Chad territory. Okay, so keep that in mind. Do what you want, but always know the risks involved before you do anything drastic that could have negative, life-altering consequences. And let me say this about love and lust and physical attraction. I already know some of you are listening to this right now with your blindfolds on, fingers in your ears, and you're thinking, well, who cares about being chosen if it's all just about physical attraction? I want a woman that loves me. I'm not after lust, I want love. Well, listen, I know this is going to break some of your blue pill brains, but lust is love. Physical attraction is love. Period. That's what love is. Instant, raw, physical attraction. That is the meaning of love. And if you're one of the many right now that are listening to this, breaking your brain, trying to make sense of what I just said, maybe you can think about it like this. Think of the types of feelings a woman can have towards a man. You know, like lust versus fear versus, I don't know, say a deep respect for a man's character. Okay, all the different types of ways that a woman could possibly feel about a man. With which of those feelings is a woman likely to give a man the best treatment from the man's perspective? It's obviously lust, raw physical attraction. Obviously, at the very top. What other feeling causes a woman to give a man what he wants to a greater degree? What other feeling makes a woman cheat on her loving husband of 20 freaking years? It's gotta be lust. So that's love. If being treated in the best way possible is not what love is, then, I mean, you know, who cares? Because that's what I want. I want a woman to feel about me the way that results in me getting the best treatment from her. Obviously, I think that goes without saying for any man. I want a woman to feel whatever way about me makes her want to enthusiastically cater to me. And I'm a gentleman, by the way. I would never take more than I give, but I'm just saying, obviously, that is the kind of love that I want from a woman. But that only comes from genuine physical attraction, aka being chosen. And I already know I'm never going to get chose at this point. That's pretty clear. Now, I could see some potential future timeline where I somehow was able to get with a woman. That would be unlikely, but it's not outside the realm of possibility. But to have a woman choose me and for me to be her first choice, there's absolutely no way. You gotta be at least 1 in 100 as a man if you want to live that reality. Honestly, probably more like 1 in 1,000. And look, I will admit, there are surely men out there that are not any woman's first choice, but they're happily married anyways, and everything's working out for them well enough. You know, I'm sure that happens, but I feel like you just gotta be really blue-pilled to be content in that life. You just gotta be super naive. Or, I don't know, maybe it's just a matter of just accepting your lot in life and just knowing, hey, this is the best I can get. A woman that would definitely rather be with some random guy she hooked up with in college one time, but she just settles for me because I'm pathetic enough to accept that. And it kind of feels like mainstream entertainment media, like sitcoms and really any kind of TV shows, I guess. They're trying to condition men to accept supporting a woman when they're not being chosen. They want to condition men to accept that fate. Whoever's in charge of coming up with all the TV tropes and everything, I don't want to delve into conspiracy territory really, but there is a lot of shit on TV that seems like it is intentional propaganda. It does feel like they want to condition us into accepting that fate because I'm pretty sure every sitcom I've ever seen in my entire life has at least one episode where a woman in a committed relationship almost cheats, but then she changes her mind at the last minute and it's always presented like, oh, now their relationship is even stronger than ever after making it past this obstacle. I don't have any specific examples off the top of my head, but it is pretty much every sitcom ever. Like, I'm sure there's an episode of, I don't know, Malcolm in the Middle where the mom almost cheats on the dad. I'm pretty sure I remember an episode of How I Met Your Mother where Lily almost cheated on Marshall. Look, actually, they had a whole multiple episodes long plot line where Lily left Marshall because she just wanted some space or something. I don't really remember, but I do remember, of course, after all that, they end up getting back together and their relationship is stronger than ever before. What is that if not propaganda? It's got to be intentional. They want to condition men to accept the fact that their wife probably would cheat if she had the chance with a guy she's actually attracted to. And half the time in these shows, the woman does literally cross the line into what most people would consider cheating. Like, they'll go as far as to physically meet up with a guy and then they call it off right before he tries to kiss her or something. Leave a comment if you have any good examples of a show where this happens. I swear I'm not making this up. This is a common trope in pretty much every show I've ever seen in my life. It happened in Stranger Things with the main kid's mom. I remember that one. But yeah, I don't know. It feels like maybe the powers that be just want us all conditioned to accept that kind of life. Maybe it's just because most TV writers are women, or maybe it's just because we live in this gynocentric society. I don't know. Either way, I'm getting really off track here. All I know is most of us were just never meant to be chosen. That is a life that very few men actually get to live, and it's pretty much just about looks. Personality is not getting you chose, okay? And even if you do get with a chick because of your game or whatever, that is her settling. If you had to negotiate in the first place, then I hope you're ready for a lifetime of negotiation. Because that's what you're in for if you stay with a woman who does not choose you as a first choice. Whatever. This life sucks. If you liked the video or you found anything I said thought-provoking, please check out some of my other videos. Like, subscribe, hype, whatever. Or don't. I don't really care. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.